This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So during our demonstration session, I explained that there are three Venn diagram, which is a combination of computer science, mathematics with statistics, and finally you need to have knowledge on domain or a business knowledge where you are going to work. That means computer knowledge means here you need to hold a huge amount of data for your statistical analysis purpose. During one decade before or 2 decades before, there was a statistician who used to take paper and pen or Excel, and they used to complete their research and they provide insights. Now that time the data was pretty small, but now data is pretty large. Instead of using MBs, we are using GBs and gigabytes. Even in fact, we are working on live data. So every second, what the data is generating in Amazon or Google or LinkedIn or X, we are analyzing and immediately we are giving the predictions or forecasting about the particular activity. For that, you need to have some programming skills. Right now, what we are doing is initial a week time or 2 weeks of time, we are going with Python programming. Once you understand the Python programming end to end, then we'll jump into statistics. The same statistics what you're learning using in Excel, we are trying to use Python for the same. That means the answers what you are getting in Excel, the same thing you have to get in Python also. So that is the way you can learn your computer science followed by mathematics and statistics. But how can I learn domain and business knowledge? So generally, I suggest the people who are coming from a different backgrounds like HR, CRM, sales, or logistics, real estate, any industry, every industry data science is available. So I request the people to adopt the particular area only. So that will be easy for you to understand the flow. Second thing is the people who are coming from the particular area, they know the terminology of the particular area. So that way they can enrich in the particular area using data science. So by showcasing that one, you can project yourself. Yes, I work on so and so CRM domain. I work on FMCG, banking, or some anything. The people who's coming from no background. When I say no background, the people may come out from the education and they want to enter into IT industry, or the people who has long gap, and you can say they have zero experience, but they have good amount of gap. For them, I will start giving the case studies which are real time. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So by taking the takeaway like this, we are going to start with computer science, which is a Python programming. Once we complete Python programming, we are heading to statistics. The same statistics again will come back to Python and we'll try to execute it. So side by side you are going to learn both. Any questions here? Now, Amar, how can I execute Python programming? So in today's class, we'll try to understand how to install Python in your local system, and also without installing Python in your local system, how can I utilize Python programming in cloud environment? So let me go first with cloud. So go to google.com. Parallelly, you can do it if you like to. In such an option, use Google collaboration with Python. So Google Colab. When you type Google Colab, the first one is going to be the Google Colab. It is a research between with the in collaboration between Google and Python, and they developed this Google Colab. It is a cloud-based environment. The activities what you're doing currently using a small data sets, this is good enough. So when you open Google Colab, it looks like this. On the right hand side, you can see my name is available, but I request you to click on sign in. When you click on sign in, system automatically will take by default your Gmail ID. When it takes your Gmail ID, then you can see your mail ID here. Now, when you click on file button on the left hand side, just below welcome collaboratory, you can see an option to create new notebook, open existing notebook, or upload a notebook. So I'm just going to new notebook. When you click on new notebook, system is allowing you to open a new fresh notebook. It's just like a empty notebook which you are allowed to write anything. So I can say anything. But just before that, on the right hand side, you can see connect. When you click on connect, the cloud environment will allocate some memory and space for you. So you can see right now it's connecting. There is 1 GB RAM, sorry, 11 GB RAM and around, sorry, 46 disk. Okay, it's 100 GB RAM is allocated and a RAM of 12 GB RAM is available. So this is the speed, 12 GB speed and 100 GB space it's allocated. And it's also showing how much memory used right now and how much space you already utilized. Now from here, I can write my Python code like print hello to all. When I execute, system will execute the particular code and it will display the outcome. So can you give a try right now, team? After that, I will tell you how to install in your local environment. The benefit of having cloud environment is you can access from any laptop. No need to install Python in our local system. And you have a default AI here on the right hand side. You can see Gemini. When you use Gemini, system will start giving the information. I strongly suggest not to use Gemini right now because you are learning Python code. So when you're learning, it's better not to take help from anyone. This Gemini will help you when you're in a real time, like how to use, how to filter in pandas. So it's trying to give entire code. When it is giving entire code, there is no point your mind will think about those. So here in this class, we are going to learn the subject. So your mind has to think the logic and you have to derive the logic. So we strongly suggest not to use Gemini during the class or during the assignments. So even with the help of your assignment only, your business knowledge will come or domain knowledge will come. So once we start your statistics, will start looking into assignments. From the assignments, then we'll go for case studies. So this is the way our sessions will go. So not to go with Gemini during our practice. Once you are comfortable with the entire code, then you can go ahead. Reason behind, nowadays the interviews, they'll conduct the coding part also. You have to share your screen and you have to write your code. So during the time, you will not get an opportunity to open Gemini and check. The people who wants to open Google Colab, just open it. Madhavi, Sindhu, do you want to open and give a try, or do you want to go for installation of Python in dedicated system?
Yeah, this is Sindhu. I used Colab and I'm able to print all. Say print hello to all.
Great. Now I explained the positives of Google Colab, and there are some negatives. Once you load the data, and I mean not now, going forward, once you load the data for your case study, and when you're executing, it will execute. Once you save the code will save in Google Drive, but the data, whatever you plan to execute or you executed, the data will not be saved unless until you forcefully have to upload in Google Drive. So if I save it, it will save by default in my Google Drive. save a copy to Google Drive. The code, what you mentioned here, print hello, this code will be saved. But for example, I want to use this one for some case study. I have one GB data. That 1 GB data which I am trying to analyze, that raw data will not save. So that is the drawback what you have. That means ideally what I want to say is that coding pattern and coding structure will be saved. Raw data will not be saved. So every time it's a fresh one for you. So every time you have to load the data and every time you have to execute. The positive side is any laptop you can work and from across anywhere in the world. But you need to connect to your internet and you need to allocate your RAM and memory every time. So that is the stuff what you're supposed to do. Amar, how can I access? How can I do installation? Means go to Google again, Anaconda download. So when you select Anaconda download, you have a first option download Anaconda distribution. So Anaconda is the framework you can consider. Within that framework, we have many user interfaces. Out of that, one user interface called Jupyter. Right now, what you are seeing, what you are checking in, what you are seeing in Google Collaboratory, Google Colab, that is nothing but Jupyter. That is one of the framework or UI we are using for our code. So you can see here, these are the number of user interfaces or frameworks which you are using in your Anaconda by default. Once you install, you will get it. So skip registration. If you would like to register, you can register, or else you can go for skip registration. Once you skip registration, right now the version which you are using for Anaconda, the Python version is 3.12. This version may not be same as your Anaconda. This is Python. So Python version is 3.12 for Windows, 3.12 for Mac, 3.12 for Linux. Based on the laptop operating system, you have to choose. If you are using a Python Windows, go for the first one and click on download, which is 912 MB. If you are using Mac 64-bit command or graphical installer. So based on that, you have to choose either first or second one. Similarly, if you are using a Linux, then accordingly you can download it. So when you click on download, it will take some time based on your internet speed.
So, Amar, I am on anaconda.com. From here, what should I do?
So when you go to anaconda.com, in the starting itself, top right hand side, you have a registration option. Provide email ID to download. It is an optional step. In the same box, you have a skip registration.
Okay, I don't see it. I see free download, sign up and sign in.
Okay, let me place this one in our chart window.
Okay.
Here is option for chart. I'm not seeing anything. Do we have chart option here? Or can you share your screen?
Okay, I'm on my phone and I
Okay,
opened
okay.
the browser in my laptop. Yeah.
Understood, understood. So let me share my screen again.
So
Here I have. Here I have.
www.anaconda.com.
Yeah, here option. I shared in chat window. We have a chat window there, and I shared
Yes,
it.
yeah, I got the message. Okay.
So once you it's a direct link which I shared you. You have an option for download. So based on the operating system, you have to select.
Okay, got it.
So once you download, it may take 1 or 2 minutes time based on the internet speed, or it may go for 5 minutes also. So you can see there is an option. Once it's downloaded, you can see like this Anaconda 3 so and so. It is an exe file of Anaconda. You have just you have to double click on that and click on next till it comes to close, or it shows complete. Done. It may take some time, like 3 to 5 minutes of time for installation. You have to bear with the time. Let me know once the installation is completed. Sindhu, is the software downloaded?
Yeah, it is down. The file is downloaded. It is installed.
Yes. Okay. It is in exe file. Just double click on that and click on next.
Yeah. Okay.
So no need to select, no need to check or uncheck anyone. It's just by default downloaded. By name Anaconda, you can understand this is a big framework like a Python. So just imagine like your snakes only. Python Anaconda is a big one. Within that you have small snakes. So Anaconda is a big framework. Within that you have small UIs which is helping you to complete your day-to-day operations. One snake may be poisonous, other one is may not be. Because we don't know. In the same passion, when you come to Anaconda, there are different UIs are helping for different activities. One UI is helping for your visualization purpose. One person will say, "Hey, Amar, I'm not good at Python, but I'm good at Java." So for him, we have a different UI, different programming language. Someone will say, "I'm good at .NET. I'm not good at Python." So for that, they have different UI. And the other person will say, "I don't want to learn Python, or my client wants only R programming." So for them, we have R programming. So all these are different programmings are nothing but UIs which are assigned, combined together and make it as one location. They all keep it in one location. That place is called as Anaconda. So it's not only one Jupyter notebook. You will see a different type of UIs going forward. But is it mandatory I need to learn all means? No. We are going to learn only Jupyter because that is helping me to complete my day-to-day operations of data science. Apart from that, if someone is coming from Java background, they can explore a different framework which is required. Amar, what if a person writing in Java code and I have a fellow developer who is a Python developer and I'm a Java developer. Both are supporting for the same client. How system understand my Java code and how the system will understand Python code? Can't it be an issue? Means no. If you're writing Java code outside of this Anaconda with a different UI, Java UI, then there is going to be a problem. If you're writing your Java code within the Anaconda, then system understands that the Java code will convert as a Python code and it will execute. The person who has written Python code, it will convert as a Java code and execute in your fellow developer location. So that is the beauty what you have if you are using Anaconda. So let me know once the download is completed. So I will show you how to open that and what are the things you can have a gist on those. Sindhu or Madhu, is the installation completed? Okay, installation is progress for Madhu. Okay.
Yeah, it is in progress.
As I just mentioned, it will take 3 to 5 minutes of time for completion. For Madhu, it is completed. Sindhu, let me know once the installation is completed so I can show you.
Yeah, it is still installing.
No problem. Take your time. So let me know once it's completed.
Okay. Okay, it is completed.
Thank you. So how to see the installed software in my local environment means go to all option, in your file, go to all applications. Under all applications, you can see Anaconda 3. There you can see an option called Anaconda Navigator. Hope you can see my screen. Anaconda Navigator. Just click on that. When you click on Anaconda Navigator, it may take a minute time to open it. Since it's a fresh installation for you, it may take 1 minute time approximately, and it will display Anaconda Navigator. So you can see there is a circle which is displaying my laptop. So and it's showing initializing within the circle. On top of the circle, you can see loading user, loading bundled metadata. So there is a different activities which is going to be performed initially, and it will display your Anaconda Navigator. So now if you see here, since I not installed my email ID and not registered, I skip the installation. So every time it's asking me just sign in. I'm just skipping on by selecting this X mark. Now these are the different UIs which are helping you to complete your activities. So you have a IBM Watson, you have a Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, Jupyter Lab, or PyCharm, PySpark, Bluevis, Orange, RStudio. So different activities here and Spider. Aman, how can I know which is tool is for what? I don't know. So if it's below the tool, there is a one or two lines statement which is helping you to understand about the tool. For example, if I go to Spider, Spider is one of the interactive testing environment. So the environment, the tool Spider is created only for testing activities. It is one of the powerful tool for testing activities, not for creation of your logic. And you can write that one in Java. And if you come to Jupyter Notebook, it is a web-based interactive computing notebook environment. You can do if the programming, you can edit, run human readable documents while describing the data analysis. And if you come to RStudio, you can see a set of integrated tools designed to help you to more productive with R, including R Essential and notebooks. So it is an R program. When you come to Bluevis, it's a multi-dimensional visualization tool. So by reading one or two lines, you will understand this tool is for what. Right now we are discussing about Jupyter. Even we discussed the Google Colab. Similarly, you can go for Jupyter here. Just one or two times you just click on launch. There are two options you can find. One is install. If you see RStudio here, install is there. And if you see Jupyter, we have a launch option. When you install Anaconda Navigator, by default, couple of tools are installed, and few tools are recommended you to install. That means when you have a launch button, that means that that particular tool is already installed. So when you click on launch button, it will open a web browser like this. You can see the web browser. If the tool is recommended but not installed by default, it is like an add-on. Click on install. When you click on install, that will be installed, and this install button will turn as a launch button. Then you can launch it. So it's taking time to install. You can see on the bottom of the screen, installing application in so and so default location where I install my Anaconda. Now coming to Jupyter, when I double click on launch button, it will open a web browser like this, and you can see it's a local host. And these are the different folders which is available in my environment. So I decided the entire training I want to place in some folder in desktop. So desktop, I'm going to desktop. Double click on desktop. Sorry, I'm going to folder. Now when you come to desktop, you can see there are only 4 folders. 1, 2, and 3. 3 folders I have. But the entire system, the entire program, I want to save it in new folder. So in the right hand side, you can see new. You can create a folder or you can create a notebook. Whatever you want, I can create. I'm just creating a new folder saying that Python session. So going forward, all my Python sessions will save in this folder. Just double click on Python sessions. Now it is an empty one. If you want to create a new one, click on new button and click on notebook. So when you click on notebook, this notebook will create under this path. So under desktop, under this Python folder, Python session folder, a new notebook is going to create. So I'm giving a demo file .ipynb. Python will save in two extensions. The first one is right now you are working on Jupyter, so ipynb, interactive Python notebook. That is the extension name. This ipynb file you can open only in Jupyter, nowhere else. Instead, if you create .py, this file, once you download from the Jupyter, it can execute across all the different frameworks. Not only Jupyter framework, you can use Spider, you can use Gluvis, you can use R programming, wherever you want, you can open it. So that is the difference. Python.py is a global file. You can take it in a general terminology. IPynb is specific to Jupyter, interactive Python notebook. So these are two different extensions you are going to see in going forward. So I just renamed it. When you double click on the file name, it will give a pop-up for rename it. Now here also I can give this print hello world. So hello world. When you click on run button, on the top of the screen you can see there are different icons. The first one is to save. Second is for adding a new cells.
Hey, Amar, when
Yes,
I
please.
created a new notepad, it
Mhm.
says it is asking me to select kernel.
No problem. No problem. Leave it. You can
Okay,
select any
so
kernel. See, by default, it is going to be Python 3. So on the right
Python.
hand side, you can see, yeah, Python 3. By default, Python 3 version only we are using kernels.
Okay,
Okay. In a real time, the kernels will be different, which you are getting from your fellow developers, which kernel you have to use. But right
okay,
now, by default, Python 3.
okay, got it.
Yeah. So not only today, going forward, the entire training it is going to be Python 3 only, Python 3
Okay.
version. Unless until if your client says no, Amar, we are not working on Python 3 version, we are using on Python 2 version, then you have to select the respective kernel.
Okay.
So based on the kernels, your syntaxes and functionalities will change. So every version, every release, there are built-in functions are adding, and some features will be added, some features will be disabled. So based on the version, since we are working on Python 3 version, Python 3.1.2, so the built-in functions and the features are different compared to Python 1 and 2. So accordingly, you have to write your code based on the client. So right now, since we are learning on 3.1.2, 3.12, so we go with standard. So you can write your code, and on the built-in functions icons, you can see there is a plus button to add a new cell. So in each cell, you can write a single line program or a multi-line program. So I want to write 5 lines of program in a single cell. Yes, you are eligible to write. Or there is a scissor button which is called cut the cell. So if you want to remove the cells, you can remove it. Copy the existing cell and paste it as a new cell, like Control C and Control V, which is possible. Copy for copy the cell and paste for paste the cell. And there is a run button, execution of the particular cell. So I selected one cell, so I want to execute. So select the cell or a row, click on execution. So that will be executed. So maybe there is a possibility your code may go for infinity loop. That means infinity times it's executing. During the program execution, if you want to cancel the particular logic, then go for stop. Nothing but interrupt the kernel. So that will be stopped. The particular logic will be stopped. Now restart the kernel. For example, you want to restart. You are using 3.12. After some time 3.14 is there. So you want to refresh, or your memory is full. You want to restart. So you can go for restart the kernel. You want to restart kernel as well as the cells once again. So you can go for this two icons, two arrows. Now there is an option. You have to write some comments. So every time writing a syntax is not enough. You need to give a comment. For example, demo session. So I'm giving 4 hashes or 2 hashes going forward. Will tell you the difference between one slash, 2 slash, 3 slash. And if you write like this, it's not looks good. So within the entire Python code, I want to write some notes about the logic or about the program. Then I can change from code to markdown. And when you execute, you can see that is nothing but a kind of heading or information about particular logic. So you can change frequently from code to markdown. Markdown is nothing but just a test information or a comment about the particular code. It is not going to be your code exactly. So since it's not going to be part of your code, when you try to execute, this particular line will be skipped. And on top of these icons, you have few options like file, edit, view, run, kernel settings. Under file, you have an option to save a notebook. That means Control S. The file will be saved called demo file and in the same location like Python sessions, which is there in your desktop. Or save as means you're going to create a replication like how your save as button is available in Excel. In the same fashion, you can do. Now you have an option to download a file, and you have an option to download the same file into different formats. So all these are different formats which you have an option to download it, or I mean export, and you have a download option to download it. So these are things generally we do. And if you want to do cell up, cell down, for example, I want to move this demo session into up, you have an option to move. You have down, or I want to delete, you have an option here itself. Now these are the features which are available in Python 3, 1, 2, but it was not available in the past. Earlier I have a, where you are seeing the 1, there I have an execution button. Apart from here on the top, here also I used to have an option. Now they removed it here. Or you can use shortcut key also. Shift enter. When you use shift enter, automatically it will execute. So, and if you see,
When I run the hello world, but it's not show me anything.
It will not show. You have to execute. You have to click on execute. There is an
Mm,
arrow button.
I tried it, but it's not work.
So select the cell, or click on run button.
Uh,
No need to copy, select like this. Just place your cursor either starting or ending of the cell. Starting
okay.
or ending of the cell and click on run button.
When I run this, the next cell is opened automatically.
Okay, can you share your screen?
Yeah. Can I share my screen?
Yes, yes, you can.
Yeah. Do I need a permission for share?
Can you write it in? Can you give an access to Madhavi as in the permission? Or if it's possible, just share in our chat window also. We'll understand. Or let me show you once again how to execute. I think you need to have an access. So now, so this is the file what I have, right? This is the cell what you have, am I right? Now I'm selecting print in bracket, opening a bracket, open single quotation or a double quotation, either one of that. I'm giving demo. Once your string is completed, once your statement is completed, close with the similar kind of bracket. So if you are starting with a single bracket, single quotation, close with single quotation. If you start with a double quotation, close with double quotation. Then close the bracket. After closing a bracket, click on run button, which is under shift enter. When you click on that, just below the cell, you can see demo. Can you try now?
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's not work for me.
Okay. How about Sindhu?
It worked for me. I can see hello world. It printed.
Okay. Madhavi, I think you are doing somewhere mistake. So we'll see that one. Don't worry. Uh, is Credit team available here? Looks like no. Madhavi and Sindhu will discuss tomorrow. And Madhavi, do not worry. Since today we plan only for inclusion, and
Uh-huh.
tomorrow we'll continue with the questions whatever you have. In case if that is not executed by tomorrow also, uh,
Okay.
we'll try to see the fix tomorrow morning first. After fixing, we'll go for the next class, which is nothing but baby steps in Python, like how
Yeah.
to write the right syntax, how to write the wrong syntax.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you both of you. Dropping off.
Okay. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.